everybody. This is Lauren from My Counselor here at Plexus, and today's video workshop topic is going to be studying versus memorizing. We all know that we have to study, especially if we have exams in various subjects, and something that we may be wondering or are struggling with is what is the best way to study? I don't know how to study, or maybe the way that you're studying right now isn't really helping you. And so maybe these strategies presented in this video today will better help you in the future. And this can be in any subject, whether it's math, English, science. If you have a test or if you take notes in any of these subjects, then this will help you to better utilize those notes. So I talk about notes because a lot of the time in our classes, the teacher may ask you or even requires you to take notes based on a lecture or a lesson. And if a teacher doesn't tell you to write notes, then the first suggestion that I have is that taking notes is going to help you better retain information that is being taught to you in class. So take notes. And with those notes, what we're going to talk about today specifically is how to annotate those notes. When we think about annotating, we are just thinking of it as an activity or a task, but really what you're doing is it's another way to study. And when you annotate, you write notes to develop a deeper understanding of the text because you're noting your reactions to your own notes and to your own way of learning that information. So annotating allows you to examine the text more critically. It helps you to engage with the ideas presented in the text. It allows you to mark items that you want to come back to. And it also allows you to utilize notes for future reference. Something that you want to know is that notes doesn't just mean the notes that you take. If your teacher gives you a handout of any sort, if they give you an article, we want to refer that as notes. So it's notes that you take, documents, articles, handouts, any work presented to you that's valuable, those are all notes. And so we all want to keep in mind that these are all notes that we want to annotate. With your notes, you want to make a variety of marks, and I'm going to suggest to you different kinds of marks and what they mean. So one of the annotations that you can make is a simple question mark. So we're talking about putting a question mark in the margin or above a certain word. But typically what that means is it tells you that this is confusing to you, or this part or this word is something that you don't understand. So that signals to you the next time that you review your notes that you either need to read something again or go back to your teacher or ask a classmate, this is a part that's not making sense for me. And with your annotations, sometimes the symbol is not enough. And so it is helpful for you if you put underneath it or next to it things like, this is confusing because, and you'll see that on the right side, or I don't understand. But when you write out exactly why you don't get it, especially if you're getting help from other people, then they know exactly how to help you. The next kind of annotation is to circle words that you don't know. When you are doing this, then this signals to you. You can do it right there, or you can do it the next day or in a couple hours. But this is so you know that you need to define those words, so then you will know what they mean. The next annotation is to highlight or underline important information. And the style is up to you because sometimes underlining is more visually appealing, or maybe highlighting is more visually appealing. But again, it's even more helpful if you write things like, this is important because, or I need to know this because. It's important to know why. So one annotation is chunking. And let's say you're given an article about a person that your teacher wants you to know about. And maybe that article is 3 pages long. And typically, depending on where the article came from or who the author is, that might already be divided into sections for you, where maybe the first part is about their childhood. And then the second part is about their education. And then the third part might be about their career. But that may not be the case all the time. And so there may not be those subsections divided for you. And that may be something that you have to do. The next annotation is to summarize or paraphrase. And this will really help you understand what you're reading. If there is a lot of text on the page, try putting into the margin, summarizing or paraphrasing it into a really concise statement, maybe 2 or 3 sentences, or even 1 sentence that lets you know, this is what this paragraph is about. So another suggested annotation is the star. The star can be put next to evidence that you may need for a future essay or a future discussion. But in order for your argument to be strong, you always need evidence. And so if it is useful in your ideas that you are going to make, or the claims that you are going to present in your essay or in your discussion, then you can always refer back to the text with the star, because you may be able to use that as evidence. And again, I'm suggesting to you that, the symbols alone may not be enough. And so you may have to write, why you are putting a star next to certain text. And so you can use these sentence stems, like this quote can be used as evidence to prove blank, or this quote strengthens the idea of blank. Also, it's helpful when you make connections and outside connections with the text that you're given and that you're asked to understand. So that could be an arrow, and you can say things like, this text connects to my life because, or this text reminds me of blank because. And then lastly, you may put an exclamation point or a plus sign or a negative sign. And this can be, I agree with, or I disagree with, or information that is surprising to you. So what I want to note is that the more consistent and thoughtful your annotations are, the better understanding that you have of the text, and the more useful the notes will be to you in the future. And what I want to emphasize as well is that with all of those suggested annotations, you don't have to make all of those annotations in one sitting. What's actually really important is that you refer back to your notes more than once. And so that's why cramming is not really helpful, because you're only looking at your notes right before an exam or right before you need it. But if you take a week and you look at your notes once a day for that week, and you make different annotations every day, then the information will actually stick. Again, like I said before, you want to write a note about why you made certain annotations. So if you make a star and you're going to use that as evidence, it's going to be even more helpful if you explain why you put a star there. If you highlighted important information, then it will be more helpful if you put why you highlighted that information. Otherwise, if you don't do any of that, then your notes will just end up looking like underline words with different symbols. And when you go back to it, whether that's the next day or in a couple days, and you may have no idea why you put those marks down. When you actually write about it, then you know exactly why you did those actions. This is a weak example and something that we don't want to do. Again, if this is something that you've done all the time and it hasn't been very helpful, right? It's because we don't understand, well, why is this text highlighted in certain parts? It would be better if with every highlight, there was a note in the margin, why that was important. Instead, you want your notes to look more like this. And so you can get creative, right, with different colors, and the different colors mean different things. And you'll see here, right, student on the left, they've circled certain things, they've underlined certain things, there's a star, but they didn't leave it at just that. There are notes there. And when you look at the example on the left, that doesn't mean that they did that all in one day. It's actually better. And so I really want to emphasize this, that you go back to your notes and make different annotations multiple times before your exam. Same thing on the left. This person got creative with different colors. And so for them, that may mean certain things. But again, these notes are for you. And so you have your own style and your own preferences, and you want to do what's best in terms of understanding the text and understanding the information. Lastly, if you look here, right, the student added different ideas, and you can get creative. Like I said, this student added Post-its, and they were able to add in their annotations that way, especially if you have the preference of, when you don't need it, you can take those Post-its off, but the different colors can also indicate different things, and that might be helpful for you to differentiate the different annotations. So lastly, so our most important takeaways is that studying is interactive. And if you've just been reading your notes, reading the article or reading the notes that you've taken on your own in class, and you read it once and you read it once before the day of the exam, that may not be very helpful. And you may know that because you know what you've received on your exams, and you know exactly that's what you've been doing in order to study for those exams. Instead, it's an interactive process. You want to annotate your notes so that you can understand what you are supposed to know, but also know that you can collaborate with other people, especially if you are putting a question mark next to things, or if you are missing notes, then ask another classmate for notes, or ask your teacher, for the notes that you missed. Because if you don't have a good foundation of notes in the first place, then there's not going to be anything to annotate, and that won't be helpful either. But ultimately, what you want to avoid is cramming. And studying takes time, it takes repetition, and if you do take these annotations seriously and start practicing it, then that will allow you to have better study habits overall. So before we end the video today, if you haven't already, then please download the Plexus app, and this allows you to have Plexus on the go. And if you want to be notified more quickly from my counselor, especially if you have questions about anything in the video, or if you have questions about college, you are always free to ask my counselor. And then please rate and review our app. You can do that in Google Play or in the App Store. We appreciate any feedback, especially a written review, whether that's positive or constructive. We really do keep those in mind as we build new tools and resources here on Plexus. So hopefully you find today's video helpful, and we'll see you in the next one.